Have you ever felt like there's more to life than what you see on the surface? Do you sometimes sense a deeper connection to the world around you, but struggle to put it into words? These questions touch on something many of us experience, a pull towards understanding our place in the universe and uncovering a greater sense of meaning. Today, we're going to explore a simple yet powerful path that can lead to profound insights and a more fulfilling way of living. We'll look at how being fully present in each moment can open the door to a state of enlightenment and a deep sense of oneness with all that exists. Enlightenment is often seen as a mysterious or unattainable state, reserved for spiritual masters or those who spend years in deep meditation. But what if it's actually much closer and more accessible than we think? At its core, enlightenment is about seeing clearly, not just with our eyes, but with our whole being. It's a state of awareness where we're fully connected to the present moment, free from the constant chatter of our minds and the weight of past regrets or future worries. Many people have misconceptions about enlightenment. They might think it means having all the answers, never experiencing negative emotions, or somehow becoming superhuman. In reality, it's much simpler and more practical. Enlightenment is about waking up to the truth of who we really are and seeing the world as it is, without the filters and stories our minds usually impose. This is where the power of presence comes in. Being present means giving our full attention to what's happening right now, rather than getting lost in thoughts about the past or future. It's a state of alertness and receptivity, where we're fully engaged with our current experience. This might sound basic, but it's actually quite rare in our fast-paced, distraction-filled world. Presence is closely linked to enlightenment because it allows us to step back from the constant stream of thoughts that usually dominate our awareness. When we're truly present, we create a space where we can observe our thoughts and emotions without getting caught up in them. This simple shift in perspective can lead to profound insights about the nature of our minds and our relationship to the world around us. To understand this better, let's look at the difference between our thoughts and our awareness. Our thoughts are like a constant stream of mental activity, ideas, memories, plans, worries, and so on. They come and go, sometimes quietly and sometimes with great intensity. But there's something else that's always there, noticing these thoughts: our awareness. This awareness is like a clear sky, and our thoughts are like clouds passing through it. Most of the time, we're so identified with our thoughts that we don't even notice this background of awareness. We believe we are our thoughts. But when we learn to be present, we start to recognize that we're actually the awareness that observes the thoughts. This is a crucial step on the path to enlightenment because it helps us see that we're not limited to or defined by our thoughts and emotions. Observing the mind without judgment is a key practice in developing presence and moving towards enlightenment. This means watching our thoughts and feelings as they arise without trying to change them or getting caught up in their stories. It's like sitting on the bank of a river, watching the water flow by without jumping in. This practice helps us develop a sense of inner spaciousness and peace, even when our thoughts or external circumstances are turbulent. As we continue this practice, we naturally start to let go of our attachment to ego. The ego is our sense of separate self, the me that we usually identify with. It's the part of us that's always comparing, judging, and trying to protect or enhance its position. While the ego serves some useful functions, it can also be the source of a lot of suffering when we're overly identified with it. Reducing ego-driven behavior doesn't mean getting rid of the ego entirely. Instead, it's about loosening its grip on our awareness and recognizing that we're something larger and more fundamental than this limited sense of self. We can start by noticing when we're acting from ego, when we're defensive, competitive, or seeking approval. Then, instead of automatically following these impulses, we can pause and choose a response that comes from a place of greater awareness and connection. Connecting with the present moment is a practical skill that we can develop with practice. One simple technique is to regularly bring our attention to our breath or bodily sensations. This anchors us in the here and now, pulling us out of mental rumination. We can also practice being fully engaged in whatever we're doing, whether it's eating, walking, or talking with someone. The key is to keep gently bringing our attention back to the present whenever we notice it has wandered. The benefits of present moment awareness are numerous. It reduces stress and anxiety by taking us out of worry about the future or regret about the past. It enhances our enjoyment of life by allowing us to fully experience each moment. It improves our relationships by helping us truly listen and connect with others. And importantly, for our journey towards enlightenment, it creates the conditions for deeper insights and realizations to arise. As we become more present and aware, we start to experience a sense of oneness that goes beyond our usual feeling of separation. We begin to see how interconnected everything really is. This isn't just a philosophical idea, but a direct experience. We realize that we're not isolated individuals, but part of a vast, interconnected web of life. This shift in perspective from me to we can have profound effects on how we live our lives. We naturally become more compassionate and considerate of others, recognizing that their well-being is connected to our own. We start to see that our actions have far-reaching consequences, which leads to a greater sense of responsibility and care for the world around us. Bringing mindfulness into our daily lives is a powerful way to deepen our practice and move towards enlightenment. We can start by choosing one routine activity each day to do mindfully. Maybe it's brushing our teeth, drinking our morning coffee, or walking to work. As we do this activity, we give it our full attention, noticing all the sensations, thoughts, and feelings that arise. We can also practice brief moments of mindfulness throughout the day. For example, we might take 3 conscious breaths whenever we sit down or stand up, or pause to really look at and appreciate something beautiful in our environment. These small practices add up over time, gradually changing our default mode from distraction to presence. Of course, the path to enlightenment isn't always smooth. We'll encounter obstacles along the way. One common challenge is the mind's tendency to get bored or restless with present moment awareness. It might constantly seek stimulation or distraction. When this happens, we can gently remind ourselves of why we're practicing and return our attention to the present. Another challenge is dealing with difficult emotions or painful memories that may arise as we become more aware. It's important to approach these experiences with kindness and patience. Remember that the goal isn't to get rid of these experiences, but to change our relationship to them. By staying present with them, without getting caught up in their stories, we can learn to move through them more easily. Staying motivated during difficult times is crucial. It can help to connect with others who are on a similar path, whether through local groups or online communities. Reading inspiring books or listening to talks by spiritual teachers can also provide encouragement and guidance. And most importantly, we can remind ourselves of the positive changes we've already experienced through our practice, no matter how small they might seem. As we continue on this path, we start to notice the ripple effect of our growing presence and awareness. Our interactions with others become more genuine and meaningful. We're better able to listen and respond with empathy and understanding. This positively affects our relationships, creating a supportive environment for our continued growth. Moreover, our increased presence and clarity often lead to more skillful actions in the world. We become more attuned to what's truly needed in any situation, rather than acting from habitual patterns or self-interest. This can contribute to positive change in our communities and beyond. Cultivating inner peace is another important aspect of this journey. As we become more present and less identified with our thoughts, we naturally experience more peace and contentment. This doesn't mean we never experience negative emotions, but rather that we're less easily thrown off balance by them. There are various techniques we can use to find calm amid chaos. Deep breathing is one simple but powerful tool. When we're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, taking a few slow, deep breaths can help center us in the present moment and calm our nervous system. Another technique is to practice acceptance of what is, rather than constantly fighting against reality. This doesn't mean being passive, but rather acknowledging the truth of our current situation before deciding how to respond. The link between inner peace and enlightenment is strong. As we become more peaceful inside, we're better able to see clearly and access deeper wisdom. And as we gain insights and move towards enlightenment, we naturally become more peaceful. It's a positive feedback loop that continues to deepen over time. Living with purpose is another natural outcome of this path. As we become more present and aware, we start to get clearer about what truly matters to us. We're less swayed by societal expectations or fleeting desires, and more in touch with our deeper values and sense of meaning. Aligning our actions with this deeper awareness leads to a more authentic and fulfilling life. We might find ourselves naturally drawn to make changes in our career, relationships, or lifestyle. These changes often arise not from a sense of should or have to, but from a genuine inner knowing of what's right for us. Finding meaning through presence doesn't necessarily mean making dramatic life changes. It might simply involve bringing more consciousness and care to our existing roles and responsibilities. When we're fully present, even ordinary tasks can become meaningful and satisfying. As we near the end of our exploration, let's recap some key points. We've seen that enlightenment is not some distant or mystical state, but a natural outcome of being fully present in our lives. By practicing presence, we can start to recognize our true nature as awareness itself, rather than the thoughts and emotions that pass through it. We've looked at practical ways to cultivate presence, from mindful breathing to bringing awareness to our daily activities. We've explored how this practice can lead to a sense of oneness and interconnection with all of life, reducing our ego-driven behaviors and increasing our compassion and understanding. We've acknowledged that there will be challenges on this path, but also discussed ways to overcome these obstacles and stay motivated. We've seen how our personal growth can have positive ripple effects in our relationships and the wider world. And finally, we've touched on how this path can lead to greater inner peace, clearer purpose, and a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Remember, this is not about reaching a final destination, but about bringing more presence and awareness into each moment of your life. Every step on this path is valuable, no matter how small it might seem. We encourage you to start or deepen your own practice of presence. Notice the effects it has on your state of mind, your relationships, and your overall well-being. Be patient and kind with yourself as you explore this territory. There are many resources available if you want to learn more about presence and enlightenment. Books, podcasts, meditation apps, and local groups can all provide guidance and support. But the most important resource is your own direct experience. By bringing more awareness to your everyday life, you're already on the path. We'd love to hear about your experiences as you explore this path. What insights have you gained? What challenges have you faced? Sharing our experiences can be a powerful way to learn from each other and stay inspired on this journey. Remember, the simple path to enlightenment is always available to you, right here and now. It begins with being fully present in this moment, open to the wonder and aliveness of your immediate experience. From this place of presence, a whole new world of insight and understanding can unfold. Thank you for joining us on this exploration. May your path be filled with presence, peace, and profound discoveries about yourself and the world around you.